Morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning devotional. I believe it's April 8th. Don't quote me on that. A few verses from John chapter 1, verses 1 to 3. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. I read these verses, and I think of the word rest. I've thought about these verses for a long time, and when you read something over and over and over again, sometimes God just impresses upon you a thought or an idea. We might call it a rhema. We might call it subjectivity. I'm not sure. But when I read these three verses, I think of the word rest. And here's why. When you consider what John is saying as he introduces his gospel, it seems to me that he's saying Jesus Christ has been there since before time began with God the Father. And alongside God the Father, Jesus Christ the Son has created everything there is to create in this entire universe. Any physical law you can think of, any natural law you can think of, any sense of morality that we may have, all of the planets, all of the stars, Psalm 8, verse 4, the moon, the stars, the heavens, the work of his fingers. All of this has been put in place, and maybe this isn't the best word, but staged for humanity. Staged as in set in motion for us to interact with and partake in. So when I think about the fact that Christ has been there since before time began, we know Revelation 13:8 says the Lamb has been slain since before the foundation of the world. The entire plan of human salvation has been set in motion since before Adam and Eve ever sinned. I get a lot of rest thinking about that. We can otherwise have a lot of questions. We can have plenty of doubt, and there's nothing wrong with it, but to think about the fact that Christ has set everything in motion, then we can really take heart in the verses that say, all things are for your sake. I think that's 2 Corinthians chapter 4, or Romans 8:28, which says all things work together for good. You could also maybe turn to, I believe it's Ephesians, let me see, chapter 1, verse 10, speaking kind of like the culmination of all things, that in the dispensation of the fullness of times he might gather together in one all things in Christ, both which are in heaven and which are on earth, even in him. We can really believe those verses because of this rest that we have, knowing that Christ has done all of it. One story from the Old Testament that I love dearly, that I think paints a good picture of how we might doubt or not be sure of what's to take place next, or be unsure of our calling, or be doubting what we're doing in a certain place at a certain time, or even thinking the worst, that everything's about to come crashing down on us. I think this story kind of encapsulates that, so I'm just going to read it to you very quickly. It's in 2 Kings chapter 6, and to give you a little background, the king of Syria has been thwarted by Elisha and his prophesying, telling the king's enemies where the king is going so that they can escape his wrath. So this is where it picks up in verse 11. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, will you not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? He thinks there's a spy in his group. And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, tells the king of Israel the words that you speak in your bedchamber. Elisha knows. He gets it from God. And so the king of Syria says, "Go and spy where he is, that I may send and I fetch him." And it was told him, saying, "Behold, he is in Dothan." Therefore did he send horses, chariots, and a great host. And they came by night, and they compassed the city about. Now, these next two verses kind of sum it up, the picture that I'm trying to paint. If we look at ourselves as the servants of God, as this servant is serving Elisha the prophet, then we probably have this attitude more times than we care to admit. Verse 15, when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, speaking about Elisha, he said unto Elisha, "Alas, my master, how shall we do?" There's the doubt. There's the worry. There's the fear. There's everything that creeps into our hearts and minds that keeps us from trusting God and knowing that he is for us and not against us. Romans 8:31, that he will never leave us or forsake us. Hebrews 13:5. But Elisha's answer is perfect in verses 16 and 17. Elisha answers and says, "Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them." What is he talking about? The servant has no idea. What are you saying to me, God? What are you saying to me through verses John 1 through 3, that Christ has been there and planned all of this out and that it's all set in motion? What are you saying? Verse 17, and Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray you, open his eyes that he may see." And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. His eyes were open, the servant's eyes were open, and he saw a great cloud of witnesses, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Seeing that you are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, let us run this race that we are in with perseverance. What does it say? Let's read it. He saw help from the hills. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight, every doubt, every fear, every bit that holds us back. Let us lay it aside, and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus. John 1, verses 1 to 3. Looking unto Jesus. The mountain was full of horses, of chariots, of fire round about Elisha. They that be with us, believers, those who have gone before us, the heroes of faith, the angels, the saints, you name it, those that be with us are greater than those that be against us. So take heart today. Jesus Christ has planned every aspect of this world and allows us to partake in it. He has a calling for you. He has great desires for you. He has an incredible purpose for your life. And he has put so many pieces in place for you to see when your eyes are opened that they that be with you are greater than they that be against you. So I hope that's encouraging today. Have a wonderful day. God bless you guys. See ya.